For men over 60, understanding what I'm about to share could very well determine the difference between enjoying a comfortable, peaceful life and enduring years of frustrating, often painful prostate complications. It's a troubling reality that countless American men unknowingly engage in daily habits that actively harm their prostate health, setting the stage for significant problems down the line. I'm Dr. Lucy, and my purpose here is to clearly outline the 10 most hazardous habits that may be quietly contributing to prostate enlargement right under your nose. The first habit on this list is so widespread that you might be engaging in it at this very moment, completely unaware of the silent damage unfolding. Consider this. Do you frequently wake up multiple times throughout the night with an urgent need to visit the bathroom? Do you struggle to initiate your urine stream or find it difficult to stop once it starts? Perhaps you constantly feel like your bladder never fully empties, leaving you with a persistent, uncomfortable sensation. These are unmistakable signals that your prostate may be enlarging, and while age is a contributing factor, it's far from the whole story. The crucial truth is that specific, everyday choices significantly accelerate this process. Throughout my medical practice, I've treated hundreds of men arriving at my clinic in states of desperation, some even experiencing acute urinary retention, a serious condition, simply because they dismissed these early warning signs for years. Yet, I've also witnessed inspiring cases. Men in their 80s living completely free of prostate discomfort precisely because they recognized the need for change and adjusted their habits in time. The chasm between suffering and relief often lies hidden within the seemingly minor routines of daily life. Let's embark on a detailed countdown of these 10 most dangerous habits jeopardizing your prostate health, starting with habit number 10, insufficient water intake. This is a common pitfall for many older men, often stemming from a misguided belief that drinking less will reduce those disruptive nighttime trips to the bathroom. Ironically, the opposite effect occurs. When you consistently fail to drink enough water, your urine becomes highly concentrated and acidic. This potent mixture acts as an irritant, inflaming both the delicate lining of the bladder and the prostate gland itself. Remember, the prostate sits directly beneath the bladder, intimately connected. Therefore, when the bladder is irritated and inflamed, the prostate inevitably suffers the consequences. Chronic dehydration creates a state of persistent, low-grade inflammation within these tissues, and inflammation is a primary driver behind prostate enlargement. Compounding this issue, many men in this age bracket regularly take medications that have dehydration as a side effect, unknowingly exacerbating the problem. Furthermore, a body deprived of adequate fluids struggles to efficiently flush out toxins. These toxins accumulate, placing an immense burden on the entire urinary system. Over months and years, this silent, ongoing assault contributes significantly to prostate enlargement and a worsening of urinary symptoms like frequency, urgency, and weak flow. The solution, however, is refreshingly straightforward. Make a conscious effort to sip water steadily throughout your waking hours. Don't wait for thirst to strike. By then, you're often already slightly dehydrated. Instead, monitor your urine color. Aim for it to be consistently pale yellow or almost clear, a reliable indicator of good hydration. Embrace water. It's nature's own powerful ally in safeguarding your prostate against dysfunction and enlargement. Moving to habit number 9. Prolonged sitting. I fully understand that after reaching 60, that comfortable armchair becomes increasingly inviting, but spending extended hours seated could be inflicting more harm on your prostate than you might imagine. Remaining static in one position, particularly sitting, for too long creates constant, unrelenting pressure on the pelvic region. This pressure impedes healthy blood circulation to the prostate gland, depriving it of vital oxygen and nutrients while allowing metabolic waste products to build up. The result is inflammation and a direct contribution to unwanted prostate growth. Men whose days are dominated by watching television, reading while seated, or desk-bound work face a demonstrably higher risk of developing significant prostate issues. This isn't to suggest avoiding rest or relaxation. The key is to avoid prolonged periods of complete inactivity. Your pelvic floor muscles, crucial for bladder control and complete emptying, also weaken when neglected due to constant sitting. When these muscles are weak, they cannot effectively contract to expel all urine, leaving stagnant residual urine in the bladder. This leftover urine is highly irritating, further inflaming the prostate situated right below. Implementing a simple rule can make a profound difference. Stand up and move around for at least 2 minutes every half hour. This doesn't require elaborate exercise. Walking to the kitchen for that glass of water, pacing around your living room, or simply stretching your legs is sufficient. This brief movement reactivates circulation, relieves pelvic pressure, and gives your prostate a much-needed break. Don't allow the comfort of a sedentary routine to silently evolve into a major health liability for your future well-being. Habit number 8 is the excessive consumption of caffeine. Brazilian coffee culture is indeed sacred, I acknowledge that. But indulging in too much coffee or other caffeinated beverages like colas or strong teas could be irritating your prostate far more than you realize. Caffeine is a potent natural diuretic, meaning it forces your kidneys to produce more urine, rapidly filling your bladder and putting it under significant strain. Beyond just volume, caffeine also stimulates the muscles surrounding the bladder, causing them to contract more frequently and sometimes erratically. This leads to that urgent, sometimes uncontrollable need to go and can even contribute to leakage. For an individual whose prostate is already sensitive or enlarged, this added pressure and urgency translate into a genuine problem, causing discomfort and disrupting daily life. But the detrimental effects extend further. Caffeine also causes the muscles at the neck of the bladder, where it meets the urethra, which passes through the prostate, to tighten or spasm. This constriction makes it considerably harder to achieve complete bladder emptying. The consequence is predictable: more urine retained within the bladder, increased pressure bearing down on the prostate, heightened inflammation, and consequently, amplified discomfort and worsening urinary symptoms. My recommendation isn't necessarily to abandon coffee entirely unless advised otherwise by your doctor, but moderation is absolutely critical. Typically, one modest cup in the morning is unlikely to cause major issues for most, but consuming several strong cups throughout the day can be decidedly harmful. Try substituting that second or third cup with decaffeinated coffee, herbal teas, like chamomile or ginger, which are often soothing, or simply water. Observe if this adjustment leads to a noticeable improvement in your urinary frequency, urgency, or sense of incomplete emptying. Frequently, these seemingly small, manageable changes yield surprisingly significant benefits for prostate comfort. Habit number 7 involves consuming overly spicy and heavily processed foods. Brazilian cuisine is renowned for its vibrant and delicious flavors, but regular indulgence in excesses here might be quietly damaging your prostate. Extremely spicy foods, laden with potent ingredients like abundant black pepper, fiery chilies, or intense sauces, can trigger systemic inflammation within your body. While an occasional spicy dish is generally not problematic, making them a daily staple can significantly irritate a prostate that may already be sensitive or inflamed, exacerbating symptoms. Processed foods, however, represent an even greater threat to prostate health. Items like packaged chips, processed cold cuts and sausages, frozen ready meals, and fast food are typically loaded with chemical preservatives, artificial colorings and flavorings, excessive sodium, salt, and unhealthy saturated or trans fats. These components are detrimental to your overall health, contributing to chronic diseases, and they also wreak havoc on your hormonal balance. For instance, excessive salt intake causes your body to retain fluid, leading to bloating and increased pressure throughout your entire urinary system, directly impacting the bladder and prostate. Unhealthy fats and the myriad of chemical additives found in processed items can interfere with hormone regulation, particularly affecting testosterone levels, a hormone that plays a direct and critical role in influencing prostate size and health. If your diet consists more of items pulled from boxes, cans, and freezer bags than fresh, whole ingredients sourced from the produce section or butcher counter, your prostate is likely bearing an undue burden. Prioritize incorporating natural, anti-inflammatory foods into your daily meals. A rich variety of colorful vegetables, fresh fruits, fatty fish rich in omega-3s, like salmon or sardines, nuts, seeds, and whole grains. Embracing a healthy prostate-supportive diet doesn't equate to bland or boring food. It's fundamentally about achieving a balanced, nutrient-dense approach that nourishes and protects your body from within. Habit number 6 is the frequent practice of delaying urination. We've all been guilty of holding in urine occasionally, perhaps because we're engrossed in a task, in a meeting, or simply too far from a convenient bathroom. However, making this a regular habit can inflict serious, cumulative damage on your prostate gland. When you consciously resist the urge to urinate for extended periods, your bladder stretches beyond its comfortable capacity. This overfull bladder then presses down forcefully and continuously on the prostate gland located immediately beneath it. Over time, this constant mechanical pressure causes irritation, swelling, and inflammation within the prostate tissues. Older men are especially susceptible to this damage because the muscles controlling both the bladder and the prostate naturally weaken with age, making them less resilient to such stress. Furthermore, chronically holding urine weakens the bladder muscle itself and can lead to a condition where the bladder doesn't empty completely even when you finally do go. This leaves stagnant residual urine pooling in the bladder. This leftover urine is not just uncomfortable, it creates a perfect breeding ground for bacteria, increasing the risk of urinary tract infections, UTIs, and it causes ongoing irritation and inflammation that directly affects the adjacent prostate, further fueling its enlargement and related symptoms. To proactively safeguard your prostate, it's vital to listen attentively to your body's natural signals. Avoid delaying bathroom visits whenever possible, and this becomes even more crucial if you already experience sleep disturbances due to nighttime urination or suffer from frequent urgency. Responding promptly to the urge to urinate is one of the simplest yet most effective defenses you can employ for long-term prostate health. Always remember that your bladder and prostate function as an intimately connected team. Significant stress or dysfunction in one inevitably impacts the health and comfort of the other. Habit number 5 involves smoking or regularly being exposed to secondhand smoke. Cigarettes stand as one of the most destructive enemies of prostate health. Importantly, the danger isn't limited to active smokers. Consistent exposure to secondhand smoke is also profoundly harmful. The toxic cocktail of chemicals present in tobacco smoke severely restricts healthy blood flow throughout the body, including the delicate vessels supplying the prostate. It simultaneously ramps up systemic inflammation and causes direct cellular damage to tissues, including those comprising the prostate gland. Smoking also dramatically increases oxidative stress, an imbalance where harmful free radicals overwhelm the body's antioxidant defenses, thereby crippling your body's innate ability to repair cellular damage. Over the long term, these combined assaults lead to chronic prostate inflammation, contribute significantly to glandular enlargement, benign prostatic hyperplasia or BPH, and elevate the risk of developing prostate cancer. For men over 60, the detrimental effects of smoking accumulate more rapidly, and the body's capacity for recovery is diminished. Tobacco use also depletes essential antioxidants like vitamins C and E, further weakening your natural defenses against prostate issues. It's critical to understand that even if you quit smoking years ago, regularly spending time in smoky environments continues to expose you to harmful toxins that can negatively impact your prostate health. If you currently smoke, I strongly urge you to discuss cessation strategies with your doctor. Numerous effective support options exist, including behavioral therapies, nicotine replacement products, patches, gum, lozenges, prescription medications, and even natural approaches that can ease the quitting process. The positive health benefits begin remarkably quickly. Within just weeks, circulation improves measurably, inflammation levels start to decrease, and your prostate gains an opportunity to begin the healing process. If you have never smoked, make a conscious effort to avoid exposure to secondhand smoke entirely. This single, decisive choice can significantly contribute to ensuring you enjoy better prostate health for many years to come. Habit number 4 is neglecting regular visits to your doctor. A prevalent tendency among many men is to only seek medical attention when a problem becomes severe or unbearable. This reactive approach is particularly risky after the age of 60. Prostate enlargement often progresses silently in its initial stages, without causing obvious or disruptive symptoms. Committing to regular checkups is paramount because they allow healthcare professionals to detect potential problems early, often long before they escalate into serious conditions requiring aggressive intervention. Simple, routine examinations can uncover subtle signs of inflammation, underlying infections, or abnormal growths that haven't yet started causing noticeable pain or significant urinary difficulties. Tests like the digital rectal exam, DRE, and the prostate-specific antigen, PSA, blood test are relatively quick, minimally invasive procedures that provide invaluable insights and can genuinely be life-saving by enabling early detection of cancer. Choosing to skip these routine appointments means forfeiting the critical opportunity for preventive action and early treatment. Some men understandably feel a degree of embarrassment or discomfort discussing urinary symptoms, but it's essential to overcome this hesitation. The sooner you openly communicate any concerns with your doctor, the broader the range of natural, conservative treatment options available to you, often involving lifestyle modifications before medications or surgery become necessary. Delaying necessary medical consultations allows minor, manageable issues time to develop into major complications, such as complete urinary retention requiring catheterization or severe prostate infections. Make it a non-negotiable priority to see your doctor at least once a year specifically to discuss your prostate health. This isn't merely about gaining peace of mind, it's a profoundly powerful tool for prevention. And when issues are identified early, positive lifestyle changes are frequently sufficient to manage them effectively, potentially avoiding the need for pharmaceuticals or surgical procedures altogether. Don't adopt a wait-and-see approach until symptoms become intolerable. Embracing preventive care is arguably the wisest habit any mature man can cultivate for his long-term well-being. Habit number 3 is the excessive consumption of red meat. While red meat holds a cherished place on many Brazilian tables, consuming it daily could be silently contributing to prostate enlargement. A substantial body of research indicates that a high intake of red meat, particularly processed varieties like bacon, sausage, salami, and cold cuts, is strongly linked to increased systemic inflammation. This inflammation affects the entire body, including the prostate gland. The saturated fats abundant in red meat and the harmful chemical compounds, like nitrates and nitrites, formed during processing or high-heat cooking, e.g., grilling/charring, are major culprits. These substances can disrupt your natural hormonal balance and significantly elevate oxidative stress within prostate tissues, leading directly to inflammation and cellular damage. Additionally, as we age, our digestive processes naturally slow down. Red meat is notoriously difficult and slow to digest compared to other protein sources. This sluggish digestion can contribute to feelings of bloating, discomfort, and unwanted weight gain. Excess weight, especially around the abdomen, increases pressure within the pelvic cavity, further stressing the prostate and bladder. You certainly don't need to transition to vegetarianism overnight. However, consciously reducing your red meat consumption to just once or twice a week can yield meaningful benefits for your prostate. Explore substituting it with leaner protein sources such as fish, especially fatty fish rich in omega-3s, skinless poultry, chicken, turkey, eggs, or plant-based proteins like beans, lentils, tofu, and tempeh. Actively incorporate more meals centered around high-fiber plant foods. Think hearty lentil soups, bean stews, feijoada with less meat, or vegetable-rich dishes. These dietary shifts not only provide direct support for prostate health through anti-inflammatory nutrients and fiber, but also promote better overall digestion and weight management. Your body will respond positively, potentially with reduced urinary symptoms, increased energy levels, and improved long-term prostate function. Habit number 2 is carrying excess weight, particularly around the abdomen, belly fat. As we grow older, that extra weight accumulating around the midsection is far more than just a cosmetic concern. It represents a major warning signal for prostate troubles. Abdominal fat, also known as visceral fat, is metabolically active. It doesn't just sit there. It actively produces inflammatory chemicals called cytokines that circulate throughout your bloodstream. These cytokines reach and irritate the prostate gland, promoting inflammation that directly contributes to its growth, BPH, and exacerbates urinary symptoms like frequency, urgency, and nocturia. Men with larger waist circumferences are statistically more likely to develop an enlarged prostate, experience frequent nighttime urination, and even encounter erectile difficulties. Furthermore, excess body fat, especially visceral fat, disrupts the delicate balance of hormones in your body. It can lower testosterone levels and increase estrogen levels, hormonal shifts that are known to directly influence prostate cell growth and size. The solution isn't about embarking on drastic, unsustainable crash diets. Instead, focus on implementing gradual, steady improvements you can maintain long-term. Begin with manageable steps. Incorporate a short daily walk, consciously reduce portion sizes especially during evening meals, and significantly cut back on added sugars and refined carbohydrates found in sugary drinks, pastries, and white bread. Losing even a modest amount of weight, just a few kilos, can often lead to noticeable relief in urinary symptoms. Crucially, remember that belly fat isn't just chemically active. It physically presses down on your bladder and other pelvic organs. This mechanical pressure increases stress on the prostate gland itself, compounding the inflammatory damage. Maintaining a healthy waist circumference, ideally staying below 100 centimeters, about 39 inches, for most men, stands as one of the most effective long-term strategies you can adopt to actively protect your prostate health and maintain urinary comfort. Finally, habit number 1, and arguably the most dangerous yet frequently overlooked, failing to manage chronic stress. This is the insidious habit many men dismiss, but its impact on prostate health is profound and pervasive. Chronic stress acts as a potent, silent inflamer of the prostate gland. When you exist in a near-constant state of anxiety, tension, or worry, your body responds by flooding your system with stress hormones, primarily cortisol. Over extended periods, elevated cortisol levels drive systemic inflammation, create persistent muscle tension, especially in the pelvic floor, and disrupt the delicate balance of hormones like testosterone and cortisol itself, all of which directly and negatively affect prostate health and function. Stress causes the muscles in your pelvic floor to tighten chronically, restricting healthy blood flow to the prostate and irritating the sensitive nerves surrounding it. Simultaneously, chronic stress weakens your immune system's overall function, making your body far less capable of fighting off inflammation or infections within the prostate or urinary tract. Older men often shoulder significant burdens silently: financial pressures, complex family dynamics, concerns about their own health or that of loved ones. This relentless psychological load manifests physically. The consequence for the prostate is frequently increased urinary frequency, pelvic pain or discomfort, heightened urgency, and accelerated prostate swelling, inflammation, and BPH progression. However, there is powerful good news. Stress is manageable. You possess the ability to mitigate its damaging effects. Integrating simple, consistent practices can drastically lower your stress levels. Dedicate time daily to deep, diaphragmatic breathing exercises. Engage in light, regular physical activity like walking or gentle swimming. Incorporate stretching or basic yoga to release pelvic tension. And carve out even just 10 minutes daily for quiet reflection or simply sitting in silence. Never underestimate the healing power of genuine laughter, maintaining strong social connections with friends and family, and prioritizing high-quality, restorative sleep. These are potent forms of medicine for both your mind and your body, including your prostate. Actively managing stress isn't merely about improving your mood. It's a fundamental strategy for healing your body from the inside, reducing systemic inflammation, and restoring balance. Implementing effective stress management can be the single most impactful step you take starting today. This one powerful change has the potential to noticeably reduce your urinary symptoms, and may even help slow or halt the natural progression of prostate enlargement. It represents the most potent action within your control to move decisively towards a healthier, more comfortable, and more vibrant life starting now. Now that you possess a clear understanding of these 10 everyday habits that can silently enlarge your prostate, the pivotal question rests with you. What specific actions will you commit to starting today? These aren't insignificant tweaks. They represent powerful, proactive steps capable of preventing months or even years of persistent discomfort, countless sleepless nights disrupted by bathroom trips, and the potential need for medications or interventions you might otherwise avoid. If you are over 60, the most effective time to act is unequivocally now. Resist the temptation to wait until your symptoms intensify or new problems emerge. Begin this journey by focusing on changing just one habit this very week. Perhaps commit to drinking more water consistently throughout the day, integrating more movement into your routine by standing and walking every 30 minutes, or consciously choosing to decline that extra serving of bacon or processed meat at breakfast. Recognize that every single positive choice, every small action taken consistently, accumulates and matters profoundly. Healing your prostate won't happen instantaneously. It requires patience and dedication. However, by consciously adopting the right habits and applying steady, gentle persistence, your body possesses an incredible capacity for restoration and healing. Always remember, you are not navigating this path alone. Countless men share this journey, and armed with accurate information and a willingness to make changes, it truly is never too late to begin prioritizing your well-being. Commit to taking conscientious care of your prostate through informed choices, and it will reciprocate by diligently supporting your comfort and vitality for years to come.